Hey there, Tarek here, and today I am doing a vlogging test of the Canon M100. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm lazy, and also I can't think of any great video ideas right now, so this is a good one. And right now I'm just literally recording with the camera with nothing special. This is the kit lens that comes with the camera. I have image stabilization on the lens turned on, but I have digital image stabilization turned off because that's fake image stabilization and you should never use that because it's terrible. So yeah, right now I'm using the face detect autofocus and I think it's doing a pretty decent job. If I come close you can see the background's blurry. Again, I'm just shooting on the kit lens, which only goes down to f3.5, so nothing special or crazy like that. And I'm not using a Gorilla Pod or even a tiny tripod. I do have one that was given to me for Christmas by someone, which was a nice gift. But I'm not using it because a lot of people who are gonna buy this budget camera probably don't wanna buy any additional peripherals or accessories. So this is a good way to start. If you're really interested in vlogging and want something that looks better than your smartphone camera, this is probably a good place to start. Again, a lot of smartphones these days shoot 4K video, but the Canon M100 only shoots in up to 1080p, which honestly is fine. Oh wow, my left hand started getting strained, so I switched hands. But yeah, hopefully the face detect autofocus is working well. Let's challenge it a little bit over here and try and move around. It seems to do a pretty good job, and this is also how the internal microphone sounds. Keep in mind, I'm indoors, not outdoors. If I was outdoors, things might be worse. Okay, actually, you know what? We'll do an outdoor test. I'll go into the balcony. This is probably a bad idea. I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm not wearing a jacket and it's pretty cold and I'm overexposed. Whew. Whew. Okay, there's not a lot of wind right now. I had to close down the aperture to f9 so that I'm properly exposed, but yeah, this is how it looks right now. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt and this is freezing, and this is Canada. Not the best idea, but yeah, I mean, gives you an idea of how things are and how things look. But yeah, so if you were thinking of picking this camera up for vlogging, it's not a bad option. Right now I'm shooting at 1080p at how many frames per second? Wait, let me check. So I'm shooting at 1080p at 30 frames per second, which is 29.97 frames per second. And again, tell me how it looks. I'm shooting at 1/60th of a second when it comes to shutter speed, because that's the 180-degree rule, and f3.5 because that's the fastest aperture on the kit lens, and ISO 200 because there's a reasonable amount of light in here and there's no reason to crank my ISO up any higher. But yeah, tell me what you think. What do you think of the microphone quality? What do you think of the image stabilization? But yeah, keep in mind also that although this camera is pretty compact, it's heavier than a smartphone, or at least I think it's heavier than a smartphone. And I've had to switch hands quite a few times to keep holding it comfortably. Although it is a small camera, it's pretty heavy, so the density of the tech in this camera is actually pretty high. It has a flip-up screen, and again, you do have a lens. And again, although the lens housing is plastic, internally it's full of glass, obviously, and glass is pretty heavy. So yeah, it's actually quite surprising when you first hold this camera how heavy it feels. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty good. Again, the face detect, it just lost me there for a second, but if I get reasonably close, reasonably far, hopefully I'm sharp, otherwise this would look ridiculous. You do get, I think, a tiny bit of bokeh action, a little bit of blurred background. Oh, you can see that the edges vignette quite a bit, so you can see that they get less overexposed as they go to the edges. But anyways, yeah, and I also have as many of the in-camera corrections turned off in the settings, just so that I'm getting as close to a raw image as I can. I know that you can't shoot raw video with this whatsoever, but still, I like to have the least amount of processing happen before I take a file into the computer, so that if I want to adjust anything the way that I want to, I can. Also, I want to challenge myself to see how fast I can edit this video and put it together. That's fully dependent on when I shot this. So right now the time is 3:58. Let's just round up and say it's 4 p.m. So it's 4 p.m. right now in Canada, Mississauga, and let's see how long it takes me to edit and upload this video. I'll write it down in the description. the time that I actually upload this video. So hopefully it doesn't take too long. Usually it takes me really long to edit videos, and this is less complex than most of the projects that I try to do. Reviews can take quite a bit of time to put together, and honestly, if I don't finish a video usually within the span of a single day, it can kind of feel like it's dragging on. So yeah, hopefully this is done within the same day that it's recorded. But yeah, oh man, my back hurts and my arm is strained. Okay, like you need to take breaks in between vlogging, apparently. I'm not a vlogger, and I don't intend to be, at least not intentionally. But yeah, I don't consider myself a vlogger, and it's not something that I'm aiming for, at least not at this point in time. I don't want to cut it out entirely, the possibility. You never know what the future holds, but yeah, it's straining. Maybe I should hit the gym. My biceps and my back can't hold this. Honestly, like my lats are hurting right now. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so 15 millimeters is the widest that the kit lens goes. So 15 times 1.6 is the equivalent of 24 millimeters. So this is equivalent to what 24 millimeter field of view would be on a full frame camera. So yeah, it's pretty comfortable. It gets a decent amount of your environment in, and yeah, you don't have to hold the camera too far away from you. I mean, my arm is pretty extended. This is my arm fully extended, but that's not ideal because then you see my arm in the shot. That's if I don't have a GorillaPod or something, or some sort of tripod, like the one that I showed before. Again, if I angle this in an L bracket and use it to hold the camera, it's a pretty good setup. But yeah, so anyways, hopefully this was informative or useful in terms of making your decision for purchasing or not purchasing this camera, if you're interested in a vlogging setup. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Anyways, my name is Tarek. Have a wonderful day. Like, subscribe if you found this useful, and see you in the next one. Bye.